What's good, everyone? It is SolarFury here. Welcome back to Clash Royale discussion video number 6 million, and we're going to talk about the state of the game. The game is in an incredibly interesting spot right now, and that's mainly because the past few seasons over the last few months in 2026 have actually been pretty good for the most part. But in the grand scheme of things, it has done absolutely nothing for the overall state of the game and community sentiment. Right now, we are going to look at my good friend Google Trends and see kind of how Clash Royale has been doing over the past year and beyond. So overall, here's kind of what we're looking at with Clash Royale over the past year. Of course, as you can see, towards the middle and end of 2025, it climbed a bunch. It peaked in October and November, and then it has been a steady decline to where we are now, and it's not doing that good. It actually has gone up slightly from 16 to like 22. Wow, that's incredible. That's like 1/5 of where it was in terms of interest on YouTube back in October and November. And then of course, here is everything illustrated on a much more greater scale, looking at the past 5 years. You can see it was in a lull for the majority of 2023 and 2024, and then again picked up in 2025, and then just completely plateaued back to where it was. And of course, as you all know, right here was the Heroes update when it started to go down, and it has just never recovered since. And like I said, this is really interesting to look at and visualize because the past few seasons for Clash Royale have actually been pretty good. There have been quite a few new game modes that have been really interesting. There have been new heroes and evolutions that have been really cool. We're getting a new legendary card, the Ronin, which is also really cool. There has been a lot of new content within this game, yet nothing seems to work. In fact, you know what? Let's just go through everything that they have added to just illustrate all the good things that they've done. I will give credit where credit is due. I always have been fair to Clash Royale with that. When they mess up, I'll call them out big time. But when they do good things, I will give them credit. I feel like that's the fair thing to do. So let's talk about some things. Some of these things will be coming in the July season. Some of these things have already happened or are reoccurring. So I think the biggest thing that happened, which is most recently, is that they teased that there will be no new levels coming to the game and that level 17 will be like the level forever and that they will never go beyond that. I have some thoughts about that I want to share later on in the video, but heck, if that really is true, then that's huge. No more levels, no more fear, right? In theory, that's a good thing. They're also bringing back Chaos Mode and adding new modifiers to new cards. Chaos Mode was a huge success during March for Clash Royale's 10th birthday. When Chaos Mode was in the game, it was genuinely some of the most fun I have ever had playing Clash Royale. That's going all the way back to when the game first came out. When Chaos Mode was introduced, I was playing the game every single day, grinding Chaos, grinding for the 3 badges. It was so fun. I genuinely enjoyed it. It was such a nice break from the grind of Ladder and Path of Legends. I loved it so much. There have also been attempts for other cool game modes. Like, I will say the Princess Gambit game mode was cool. It just wasn't executed properly because there wasn't a tournament standard for levels. I think that should be the case with all events, by the way. But for some reason with Princess Gambit, they made it so that way that wasn't the case. So I was going in the games with like level 1 bats in my free-to-play account, which was just completely dumb. But I will give them credit that the Princess Gambit was cool. It was fun. I will say that. There was the Road to Victory thing that they added, you know, the little step ladder thing with the barbarians, where for winning games, keeping a win streak, you would get certain rewards. I really enjoyed that because it encouraged competitiveness and it rewarded you for actually being a good player. That's nice. And also, it didn't really matter where you did it. You could do it on normal Trophy Road. You could do it on Path of Legends. If there was like some random draft game mode, you could have done it there. If Chaos would have been in the game, then you could have done it through Chaos. So I think that was cool. And again, it encourages you to actually be good at the game and get free to play rewards as a result. That was good. Apart from Chaos, I think my favorite thing that they've done is brought the season shop back. They're not really calling it the season shop, but you know, you get tokens or whatever the thematic token is for that season. Of course, this season we got bones and whatnot, and to be able to get free to play rewards just for grinding crowns, that's awesome. That was the best part about the season shop, and then they took it away. Now I understand why they took it away, so that way they could do more milestone events. That makes sense at all, but to have that back along with the other milestone events, why could that not have been the case in the first place? That's a whole other tangent I could go down. Why couldn't we just keep both of them? but I like that it's back. Again, with this past season, you can get the hero tombstone for free. You can get other free rewards like wildcards, lucky chests, cosmetic items like banners and emotes. I love that. Season shot being back is great. I will give credit. I do like the new progression system with the levels and whatnot. I feel like that has been reworked so many times. Not really, actually. There was the King's Journey, which was in the game for a while, since 2021, and then they changed that. You know, it wasn't reworked that many times, just twice. But I like the new collection level system. It does kind of simplify things. You upgrade a card, you get a level. You get a new evolution or hero, it gives you another certain number of levels. And you still get progression on that. I like that. That's good. Bringing back evolutions was a big thing. When heroes were first introduced, we went so long without getting new evolutions. But then we ended up getting the evolution mini horde, the evolution princess. Heck, that's awesome stuff right there. Let's keep rolling with evolution. The album events as well. Albums, snippets, all of that is good. We got it for the Hero Magic Archer. We got it for the Hero Bowler. I think we're getting it for the Ronin. You'll probably already know that by the time this video is out, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. I love those. Again, and it incentivizes grinding and being good at the game, getting your snippets every single day and getting really good rewards for them, including a free hero, some pretty good drops, some magic items and things like that. Yeah, that's wonderful. And then another thing they're adding in the July season is the choice chest for daily rewards, where you can choose between 2 rewards. That's awesome. That's something I've talked about in a video before. Did Supercell listen to me? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe they did. Let me know. I don't know. So I just went through a ton of things, right, that Clash Royale has added in 2026. Things that are good, that are genuinely fun, right? All these things are good. But in the grand scheme of things, when we look back at that Google Trends graph that I just showed, players aren't coming back. The game is continuing to maintain its stagnant position, which is about, I don't know, I'd say 1/10 of its popularity of where it was. And that is just sad to see. Nothing that the devs are doing is working. And I think it's obvious, but the big reason why is because there is zero trust left between the developers and the community. When they added heroes and when they added level 17 with that whole debacle towards the end of 2025, it killed absolutely all community sentiment. It genuinely did. And this is another totally random side tangent. It doesn't help when you have people like Muhammad Light and SK in the community. I'm not going to elaborate on that more, but when you have people like that, when a lot of the people that play this game are kids and teenagers, that doesn't really incentivize people to come back now, does it? That's just a random side tangent, but let's get back to actually talking about the game. There are a couple of reasons why Clash Royale picked up popularity back in 2025. One of the reasons, of course, was content creators. I want to give Jinxie a big shout out. Another reason was because the developers didn't do anything that was bad. Now, I know that just saying that out loud is dumb, but with Clash Royale, it has been a thing throughout the history of the game. The developers have continually done bad things. 2023, of course, adding evolutions in level 15. They added level 14 in 2021. Clan Wars 2 back in 2020. Many things before that as well. But Clash Royale had gone on pretty much a 2-year stretch from 2024 to 2025 where there was nothing bad that was added to the game. Now, was the game in a great state? No, but it was in a good state. And when you compound that with content creators making the game more popular, Clash Royale, again, releasing decent updates, it created the perfect storm for the game to become more popular again. But the very second Clash Royale did something bad again, all of those casual players, all the people that came back, they instantly went away and the game went right back to where it was in 2023 when evolutions and level 15 were added. I just don't know if it is possible for the game to recover from all that happened. Now, I know that was at this point over 6 months ago. We are in the middle of 2026. All that stuff happened at the end of 2025, but it was such a significant event for this game that I don't know if the trust of the community can ever be regained because it meant that much. The ramifications are still being felt beyond community sentiment as well. People are still struggling to catch up to level 17, even with all of these cool events and progression systems that have been reworked in the game. A whole update cycle that Clash Royale spent a lot of time on with merge tactics is now dead. Something that I know a lot of people were interested in pretty much has no interest left. So for people that were only playing the game for merge tactics, those people are gone. Now, that may have not been a large percentage of the player base, but it still was a percentage of the player base that is not playing anymore. And also, another reoccurring issue, balancing still sucks with this game. Now, I think that might always be a thing though. I have to bring it up just because it is so significant, but if balancing were a lot better, that would help things a decent bit. And it doesn't help even more when you add heroes to the game that are just absolutely insane, or insane on the bad end. Like, Hero Tombstone is really bad. It is. And then of course you have other heroes which are really good, that are always going to be really good. We can throw the Hero Knight in there, the Hero Magic Archer. Honestly, most of the recent heroes haven't been that great, but just the concepts of heroes still just make me sad because they're gonna be so hard to balance. So overall, with all of this rambling out of the way, what is the state of the game actually sitting at? Where are we, and where are we headed in the future? So the state of the game right now, where it stands, actually is not bad. Actually, like I've said, there have been a lot of good things that have been added to the game that have made the game feel more fun. But it just kind of feels like there is this dark cloud that is just looming over the game, and I feel like it will be hard to go away. So where do we go from here? I actually do have somewhat of a glimmer of hope, and here is why. I have been covering content on this game since 2018. I am an unk at this point, and I have seen this game go through many phases, but more than anything, it has been cyclical in terms of the interest of things. When I started making content on the game in 2018, the game was starting to die down from its early peak in 2016 and 2017 when the game was kind of fresh and brand new. It was starting to die down from there. We had another bad update in 2020 with Clan Wars 2, where we waited a whole year for that and nothing happened. But then good things started to happen again, like the addition of magic items and champions, and the game started to pick up steam again. In 2021, maintained some decent consistency through 2022. Then in 2023, we had another bad update, so the game went back downhill. Then again, like I talked about earlier, in 2024 and 2025, we had a decent stretch where updates weren't groundbreaking, but they weren't horrible. Then combined with the perfect storm of Jinxie and other content creators coming back with those decent updates, it created the absolute explosion we had in 2025, where the game reached its all-time peak. Then we had a bad update and the game went back down into the trenches. So based on this kind of cyclical nature of the game and how it just goes up and down and up and down and up and down, by 2028, we're gonna be in its prime again. Now, could this be extreme cope? Yes, it might be. Am I a little crazy? Maybe. But genuinely, with what I have seen with the trajectory of this game, and based on where things are right now, if the Clash Royale devs do keep up what they're doing, then maybe this dark cloud that is hovering over the game and community sentiment will eventually go away, and the sun will start peeking through again, and we can have good times again. So for the things the Clash Royale devs have done in recent months, are they helping the game immediately? No, not really. The game is still kind of in the state that it's been for the entirety of 2026. But I do think it is slowly starting to build a foundation again. And if new game modes keep happening, if progression keeps getting better, if they truly are going to add no more levels, if that is a true and real promise that the devs will stick by, if they stick by that, literally, I'm being so serious. In a year or two, the game could be on the upswing again. And I genuinely do mean that, and I genuinely do hope it. I got my fingers crossed. As I've always said, I want the game to do good. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Probably top 3. Other 2 I would say are Minecraft and Terraria. You could also throw 2018 Fortnite in there. Clash Royale is up there as one of my favorite games of all time. Even though I haven't been producing as much content recently, because I've been a little burned out, I still do play the game pretty much every day. I do genuinely enjoy it. I want the best. I'm hoping this foundation can continue to be built upon and that the devs will stay cooking with what they've been doing recently. I know this video has been all over the place, but I just had a lot of things I had to get out there because the game is still in a bad state, but the devs are doing good things. And I kind of wanted to talk about both sides. So if you did enjoy this discussion video, please leave a like down below. Leave a comment with what you think about where things are right now with the game, because it feels like kind of discussion videos on YouTube regarding the state of the game, feels like people have kind of stopped making them because there's not much more to talk about. And even though I did kind of rehash ideas that have been talked about, I wanted to talk about in the new context of the game as we head into July 2026. Be sure to subscribe, use code SolarFury, do all the good things. Watch this video on screen as well. I'm sure you will enjoy it just as much as this one. That's going to be it for me, and I'll see you all in the next video.